I have a question.
Yes.
And it looks to me that I don't know, well, that you're going places sort of sometimes. Um, it feels to me that I feel energy in my body and subtle changes, but it feels like I have a tension in my mind, in my head, which is blocking the energy to coming in, sort of like in my mind, because I'm sort of thinking constantly. It's a lot more quiet than it's ever been, but it's still like it's not hitting me.
Spend have patience with yourself. You see, the most important thing is that it's quieter now than it's ever been. And it's a step by step process of learning how to keep your attention, your mind focused so that your, you know, mind does stay quiet. And it's something that happens over time. It doesn't happen immediately. But just by you saying that my mind is quieter than it used to be, that's a major step. Most people spend an entire life with this insane voice in their brain just yakking and yakking and, really making life terribly difficult for them. So you're moving. I mean, look, I have no problems with your growth. I think it's wonderful, frankly, but I have patience. I have patience. And I know what I've been through, and I know how long it took me to get to have my mind. And still, there's noise there, but there's always going to be some noise there, but you at least know how to manage it, what to do with it. So have patience with yourself and understand that, in this work, often you take two steps forward and one step back, but you're one step ahead. And don't beat yourself up because you're taking one step back. Say, I'm grateful. I'm ahead of the game. I'm one step forward. And you work from there to grow. So I hate to say it, but there's always going to be something wrong. And this might scare the hell out of all of you. I don't know. But I promise you, there's always going to be something wrong. We need to have something wrong. It's part of the soup. It's one of the ingredients of the spiritual soup, having something wrong. Because the thing that's wrong with us is always the thing that makes us work on ourselves. The things that are right with us, we take for granted and we assume that it's always going to be like that. And then when it changes and something goes wrong, oh my God, what's happened? But we need that as a reminder. We all need a good kick in the butt every so often to remind us that we haven't arrived yet. God is perfect. The rest of us have to grow incrementally, closer and closer to that state of perfection. So, also I be grateful for the things that are wrong. I mean it. They will do more to help you grow than the things that are right with you. I really mean that. And don't beat yourself up because there's some thinking, there's this, there's that. You have economic problems, you have this. You have a relationship problem. There's always going to be something that is a reminder that we haven't arrived yet. We have to grow.
Thanks.
And it took me a long time to learn how to be grateful for the things that are wrong with me. It really did. It's something I did easily early on. Now, it's life. What am I going to do? Use it to grow rather than make myself crazy. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask?
have a question, Stuart.
Yes,
Um, do you think that there's value in this practice for people with autism and ADHD?
I've never kept them away. I think there's a lot of value, especially, yeah, with people with ADHD. I mean, look, I had that. Everybody has that. You know, there probably isn't a kid alive who doesn't have that. You get older and you learn how to get balanced inside and get centered and build that core of your being inside. The ADHD goes away. I mean, autism is a little bit more difficult, but I don't see there's a problem. I mean, I've had a number of students who have had autism, and also there's a milder version of autism. I forgot the name, but I've had students like that, and the whole look, the whole focus of what I teach, what Rudy taught, is getting yourself grounded inside. Now, if you have ADHD and you get grounded inside, it's going to go away. It went away for me, you know, and you just have to learn that. And if you even with autism, if you learn to get grounded inside, it might not cure it entirely, but it'll certainly help you to live with the problem. Most of that stuff is a lack of grounding. And I know there are severe cases of autism that are maybe, very difficult to deal with. But there are milder cases of it that people can learn to be grounded and they can learn to live with that and use it. I mean, usually autistic people are brilliant. They're usually brilliant people. You give them a job and they do it better than anybody. As long as they can focus on doing that, they'll do it better than anybody. So there's got to be something in there. And if they learn how to keep their attention focused in the chakra below the navel, build that core and foundation. I mean, it's not going to cure it 100%, but it'll certainly give them, a foundation to work with that'll make it a lot easier to deal with the problem. It was, look, Kodiak, I've never said no to an autistic person to study me, ever. And I never will. For a person with ADHD. I mean, to me, there's no kid on the earth that doesn't have ADHD. No kid doesn't have that problem. You know, they have to learn through time and growing how to get focused, how to get grounded, how to use that energy, you know, in a better way. Does anyone else have a question? In my opinion. Once again, people living in Israel, please stay safe. Be really conscious about what's going on there and keep yourself safe. I mean, if it's a third as bad, what I read in the media, it's just a horror of what's going on in the Middle East. So please, you're all very dear to me. I love you very much. Stay safe, please. Does anyone else have a question they would like?
I have another question.
Yes.
Could you talk about self? Well, one thing that tend to lack, is self-respect, which has always been a foreign concept to me.
Well,
I'm wondering if you have something to enlighten me.
look, let me tell you something, Sven. You're the only person you live with 24 hours a day. The only person. And if you don't learn how to like yourself and respect yourself, you don't learn how to keep your heart open and discover the credible value of your own self-worth, your day is going to be miserable because you can't get away from yourself. There's nobody else on the earth you can't walk away from. Yourself, you're with 24 hours a day. And this meditation is about building core, building strength that can keep the heart open. If the heart is open, you will respect yourself. You will find your self-worth. You will find incredibly creative elements of your inner life that will come to the surface that you'll be able to use in a practical way. It all changes. It all changes. And never forget, who do you live with 24? Your parents are, you can walk away when it gets a little crazy. Your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is, you can walk away, Yourself, there's no escape. So the alternative is work deep enough in yourself to build a system that enables you to live with your heart open and self-worth. Hey, I got to live with this person. I better learn how to like him or her.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question they would like to ask? We're rocking and rolling here. Ask questions. Okay, there'll be a class on Thursday. God bless you all. Be well, be happy, be safe. And I'm just grateful that every one of you are in my life. I find a place for you in my heart. And I say all the time, each and every one of you is my teacher, my guru. And I'm very grateful for it because it's helping me to grow and develop my spiritual life. So thank you, and God bless you all. And hopefully I'll see everyone on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.